Okay, now let's do something a little bit more complicated. So let's do that again. New. It's a part. Let's name it chapter 4.1 and click OK. Again, you will have these views, and again, I'm going to pick my, click on extrude, and then pick the top view to make my extrusion. Then make this parallel, and now you have the top plane where you can make your sketch. What I would like to do first is I would like to make a rectangle. This rectangle has to be a center rectangle. Starting from here, let's go to the origin, and now you have your rectangle. Then you click your middle mouse button so you can show the dimensions, and I want you to change the dimensions to 3 and 3. So it's a square. Refit it so you can see it better. You see it's still, dimensions are still far. So drag your dimensions, bring them close, and click on refit again. So now you have that. Okay. What I would like to do next is a second extrusion. So this is 0.75 as the extrusion depth, and click OK. If you hold your middle mouse button, you can orbit. Okay. Anyway, let's do another extrusion. So click on extrude. Now, instead of choosing one of these planes, I will make my sketch on this top plane here. So click, and let's again make it parallel, and let's make a circle right at the center here. This circle is 1. Okay, and click OK. You see how your circle's coming this way, and what I would like to do is make a hole in the middle of my cube. So what I can do is I can click here to reverse it, and it will either remove the material directly, or if you have not chosen to remove material, nothing will happen. So click on remove material and have your circle here. Once you're done, you click OK. So now you have this. Next, what I want to do is I want to click on extrude, and instead of clicking on this surface or anything on this left side, I'm going to click here. Click right here. Let's make it parallel. So now everything I make is going to be on that plane. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Starting from here, let's make, well, that's the wrong type of rectangle. Let's make a rectangle that is a corner rectangle. Let's go this way. This is 0.75 and click OK. I want 2 more rectangles, but first let's specify that this is 3.5. Okay. I need 1 more rectangle from here to here. You see this equal sign that showed up? That means the thickness of this new rectangle is equal to the thickness of the original rectangle that I made, which is 0.75. See, if I move it, that's gonna disappear. So let's keep them equal and click OK. Now I want a third rectangle, that's from here, equal in thickness to both of these guys, but equals the length of the parallel rectangle that I made. Now click OK. I have made all my rectangles, but here's the thing about extrusion. If I click OK now, it is going to tell me that there are incomplete areas. And it's going to ask me exit sketcher, which means do it as is, which is not going to work. I'm going to say no. The problem is these areas intersect, which means I need to make them only one. And the way to do it is to get rid of all these lines that are between them. To do that, go to delete segment right here. Delete this segment, delete this segment, this one, and this one. And click OK. And again, it told me there are incomplete sections. Exit sketcher? No. You see these red dots here? That means I have duplicated some of my lines, which means there are two lines on top of each other, which I don't want. See here? It's showing you which lines these are. So what we do is, let's click on delete segment. Let's delete this, delete this, delete this, and get a line Now we have only one line at each spot. So if you click OK, it worked. The thickness of this is 2.5. So let's click 2.5 and click OK. And now you have this object that looks good. Now that we have finished it, here's what we're going to do next. We're going to go to File, New, and click on Drawing. When you click on Drawing, you can name it, of course, again. And I'm going to do, again, Chapter 4.1. Keep this checked, use default template, and click OK. It's going to ask you what size you want it. Really, we're not printing it, so it doesn't matter. So click OK. And a new window is going to show up with your views. Just like we did manually, now we have these views here. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to get rid of all these things that are on the view. So click select all, and now you have this here. The next thing that we can do is create the sketch. And look here. If you look at this line, these two lines, they look different from what's around them because they are hidden lines. Remember, the hidden lines are lines that you can't see because they would be behind your object. These two hidden lines indicate that this circle goes through your object. So let's add some dimensions to it. So we go to Annotate. Now what you could do is you could either click on Show Model Annotations, so you can make multiple dimensions at the same time. Okay? See, right here it looks messy. So what we need to do is pick only the ones that we need. Right? So for example, I want to keep this one. I want to keep this, this, that. And I like to keep this one. And maybe we keep this one too. Click Apply and exit from here. Now you have these dimensions. If you remember when we looked at the rules for dimensioning anything, you cannot have this here. We need to take it outside. So if you click it, you can drag it outside your drawing. Now, these look very small to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click it. go to Format. You can change its height. So instead of 0.15, I'm going to make it 0.25. And next, I'm going to go around and change all of these guys into 0.25, just so we can see it better. Now they don't look the same, they don't look as good, so we need to move and make it look good. This is fine. Finally, let's do these two as well. Format. And now you have your dimensions here. There are other dimensions that you might want to add to this drawing, and I will leave that to you. Take it case by case and see what you need to add. The final thing that's missing from here is your 3D drawing. What you do is you go to Layout, click on General View, leave it as no combined state, click OK, and click anywhere. Your 3D model is going to show up. Now, if you look here, it's going to say that it is trimetric. We don't want it to be trimetric. I like isometric more. So it changed. It is taking a little bit out of my drawing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, because this is locked. It's not letting me move anything. Just move it a little bit down, a little bit lower. Now it is within my drawing. The other thing I could do is just move things around so it looks better. So click here, move it a little bit to the side. If you notice, you cannot move it up and down because it's the projection. You cannot move it. Okay. So now I can move this up and down. So I'll move it a little bit lower. And I have finished this. Because not every person has CREO on their computer, you have to save this in a file format that everyone can see. So if you go to File, Save As, you will see that you could save it as so many things. You can have it as a drawing. What I like most is PDF, because you can merge PDF files together. So I clicked on PDF, click OK. You can choose anything you want to, like even with hidden lines. You choose resolution, color, grayscale. I like to use grayscale, looks better, and click OK. So now I have a PDF file saved of my drawing. As you can see here, it looks really good. I do think I should have added more dimensions, but I will leave that to your judgment.